did it. Got the trailer all fixed up. Actually, let me pull over and show you guys real quick. This is what my father-in-law Richie helped me with. This guy is a part of that generation that's just amazing when it comes to anything mechanical. So he repainted the. He used to be in a body shop for a living, so automotive type stuff. So he repainted the whole trailer. And we also put a new heavy duty axle on this bad boy. Brand new axle. Brand new leaf springs. Oh, yeah, doesn't that look nice? Painted the whole thing. Shiny new rims and everything. It's awesome. Whew. So yeah, my father-in-law Richie, this guy is those mechanical geniuses. Like he'll just as a hobby, he puts together old Model Ts from scratch, all the original old parts, or fabricates them if he needs some. And he also puts together old guns. Just like I said, part of that generation that definitely skipped over me, because like I can make my way around the world, and I've done plenty of mechanic work on my own vehicles, but yeah, it's always like this learning process. You do everything wrong the first, maybe second time, and use the wrong tools, or you don't have the tools. You got to go buy the tools, and you break things and lose things, and man. You gotta watch about 10 YouTube videos before you even dive into the project. So as fast as he whooped that out, this guy in his late 70s, by the way. Again, that's older generation, man, is making us look bad, isn't it? Making us young guys look bad. But yeah, we don't have any excuses. I think there's this concept in the Bible of like, everything, what does it say? The earth waxes old like a garment, and everything is getting, more and more decrepit over time. The effects of sin, toxins in the environment, in our food source. So we are definitely more and more just like weaker and weaker, mentally atrophied. But at the same time, we don't have an excuse. We're lazy. I'll admit it. We get comfy. We only do stuff when we have to. I mean, that's usually how I am. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe these younger generations, I think, definitely have a pretty hard, deafening wake-up call on the horizon here, when we realize that the American dream is no longer a thing, right? Times start getting tough again. And tough times make men stronger and weed out the weak, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it's awesome. Awesome job. Shout out to my father-in-law Richie, and we are definitely all pitching in, because it's a communal thing, I guess, up there. We all need water. I'm the water boy, of course, right? As you can tell, but yeah, everybody's gonna pitch in and pay him pretty well. This ain't gonna be no immigrant wages for this guy, because he had plenty of other things he could have been doing over the week. This guy's always working on something, man. Like right now, he's he just fabricated that sawmill. I think he said he paid like $60 for it, and then I had to rig on a new saw belt and everything, and He's been cutting his own lumber to fill the floor of the shop that he built by himself, pretty much. I helped one day. That's all he needed. That's all he wanted. I think I helped with like one big beam. That was about it. Yeah, he's gonna put solid, like heavy duty plank wood flooring in his, what is it, like a 40 by 20 something foot shop. So yeah, this guy, there's no holding this guy down. Old Richie, man. His dad was the same way. I remember the guy, World War II vet. This guy was he was stubborn, man. He lived a long life, and he was independent most of his life, except that last year or two, I think it was, when they finally put him in a home. Yeah, he was living by himself. His mother, from his dad's side, died in a house fire. So his father, lived his final years alone. But tough generation, man. I remember looking in his house. He had some pieces of one of those kamikazes, Japanese. It was from one of the kamikaze planes that would dive bomb into the Navy ships. He had some scrap pieces of that he pulled out of the ocean, I guess, when he was a Navyman. Anyway, yeah, it's an amazing generation. It really is. Greatest generation. I think it's a appropriate title, because it seems like we're not getting any better, are we? Yep. We definitely ain't gonna save ourselves. That's why we need a savior. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, back to my favorite topic, right? Politics. And everybody was just losing their crap yesterday over this Trump verdict. And it's really kind of just funny. I mean, like I said, if people can get this excited over a guy who spearheaded a global depopulation program, I don't see much hope in this country anymore, folks. I mean, what I mean by that is in the federal level, our political system's a joke, and it's actually really scary. Like I said, I mean, I think he record fundraising after this announcement. What is it? 34.8 million, I think it was, in one day. Because for a while there on X, donated was trending. I donated. Did everybody forget that little fact that Trump, put out there? He doesn't even need donations because he gets so much free press. Why does he have to campaign for donations? Oh, that's right, because he'll be far better off after all this is done than he was before he ever ran for president, right? Everybody with this myth that Trump sacrificed everything, right, to make America great. One person, I swear, these people just do you guys hear yourselves? Like how childlike you sound? One person put out there, the only thing he was guilty of was trying to make America great again. No, I think he's guilty of far more than that, but we're all going to focus on the porn star hush money trial, and once again make Trump into a martyr over that petty distraction. Check out this road, man. So we have all these, of course, this is the entrance to the retreat back here. It's kind of in between where I live and Estes Park. And they have all these river crossings because they've had so much flooding up here ever since the Cameron Peak fire, which I documented. If you haven't been paying attention, I've got about a 24-25 part series on our time we were all evacuated out of this area. But it's kind of fun, man. It's like doing a little off-road in here. But it does get bad, this whole system here. I'm not sure who the genius was, I guess, who designed all this, but But I think they tried fixing the roads so many times that they couldn't afford it anymore because they had so much flooding. So I'm assuming the plan is this will be like the temporary, fix for the next few years until, the ground can finally hold moisture and stop flooding this whole area. Yeah, here's another one. See all that flood area? Crazy, right? Oh, yeah. It's just these big dips that you got to go down into where the river crosses the road. It's definitely, you think they could have like redirected it so it would stay on one side of the road so you wouldn't have to have so many of these, zigzagging back and forth, but I guess they just went with the original design, nature's design. But yeah, as I posted on X recently here, yesterday actually, I did quite a bit of, spamming on X yesterday. Probably get me in trouble again to slap another label on my account, but how dare I try to get attention, right? Get any eyes on my posts. Yeah, like I put out from that podcast, I called it MK MAGA. Oh, kind of washed that right here too, actually. This is actually where they did some concrete, which was a pretty good idea. It's one thing I learned from that flood is that nothing holds up better than good old-fashioned Roman invented concrete. Yep, Romans with all their highways, all roads still lead to Rome, by the way. Papal Rome this time. What was I saying? Yep. So like I put out, like my, quote-unquote prediction back from over a year ago now is what it was, this podcast that I entitled MK MAGA. And, just about how they were how the media was blowing this whole thing way out of proportion. Because if you looked into it, like I said, from a year ago, he never really faced any. These are like berms, by the way. They have to keep the homes from getting flooded in these areas alongside the river. They don't look that pretty, but yeah, they're filled with sand. Little fold out berm things. Kind of a good idea, I guess. But yeah, from a year ago, if you just read the charges against Trump, I mean, what's the worst that they could do to the guy? It's like I said, he's got so much donations now that he's set for life. I mean, what are you guys all freaking out about? But this is how effective the controlled opposition left-right political paradigm is, when all they got to do is paint this narrative, paint this picture through the media and all these show trials, right? That Trump is being persecuted. He's got this persecution complex. Like today, everybody was trending on X, comparing Trump to Jesus now, because of course he's always been the underdog, right? Everybody loves an underdog, and then he's the persecuted savior now, right? And despite all of this, despite every effort, right? Even have like Alex Jones talking about how, this is blowing up in their face, the leftists, the liberals, evil Democrats, whatever. With the globalists and the deep state and all of their think tanks, right? Do you honestly, sincerely think that they're that naive, that they're this clueless, that they don't know that this would have had some kind of blowback and just worked into Trump's hands, right? Worked out towards his favor. I mean, he is, after all, the anti-establishment candidate, right? Does this not just, as I've been repeating for months now, build street cred? There's this kind of like ongoing discussion about how blacks are more keen to vote for Trump now because he's got a mugshot, right? Like,
and then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing.
To me, just saying that just kind of sounds racist, really. All black people and convicted felons now. But that was the assumption, like, the black people can relate to him because he's been arrested and convicted of a crime, and now everybody's like, I'm gonna vote for a felon this in 2024, this next election, all proud. I'm gonna vote for a felon. Yay. Law and Order Trump, convicted felon for president. But the whole optics is that the whole establishment is against the guy, right? It's always been, right? They've done everything, and for some, it must be an act of God at this point, right? Because some reason they're just not able to deal with this guy, Donald Trump. He is, after all, the Teflon Don, remember? That's the classic nickname, Donald Trump. And it's pretty fitting at this point, isn't it? Like I said repeatedly, and I'll say it again, if the deep state honestly had something to fear in Trump, if he was a true threat to the New World Order, he would be 6 feet underground right now. He wouldn't be running for another 4 terms in the White House. I'm sorry to break it, like burst this little Disneyland bubble, but what did JFK teach us, guys? If you try to do your own thing, if you try to be an actual rogue, or like the media would refer to Trump as time and time again, a loose cannon, you're gonna end up dead, okay? Something's gonna happen to you. I mean, Trump is a pretty old guy, okay? You could easily have a stroke, a heart attack, something medical, and there'd be, plenty of plausible deniability. There'd be no way to trace anything. Why wouldn't all these spook agencies who Donald Trump is such a threat to, apparently, even though there's talk now that he might bring back Pompeo to head the CIA, right? The guy who wanted to murder Julian Assange, because despite the fact that other candidates in the race like RFK Jr. have said day one that they will pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, Trump, he hasn't committed to any of that. He didn't have to, right? You only have to say so much when you're Donald Trump, when you're already kind of a shoo-in. But for all these people that are just like so proud that they've donated to Trump's campaign, and they're like little children, they want to put on their little achievement award badge stick it on their chest and proudly proclaim, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm a rebel. What changed from the last time the election was stolen? I still haven't really, isn't the definition of insanity just repeating the same mistakes of the past? So if everything was rigged the last time around, how hard is it for them to just rig it again and steal the election? And your votes won't amount to a hill of beans, right? It's not who votes that counts, right? It's who counts the votes, as the classic saying goes. I just don't get it, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know if I haven't been drinking for the fluoride. I haven't. I'm up here in the high elevation mountain air. I don't live next to a highway, puffing, car exhaust fumes all day long. I'm not eating the MSG. I'm not eating out at McDonald's or some other fast food restaurant every day. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know, guys. The disconnect, right? The leap in logic that it takes to believe in one thing and then believe in something else completely contradictory, right? I think Orwell called it doublethink, right? I'm pretty sure Orwell described this situation that most people are suffering from as doublethink. Anyway, here I'm here at Glenhaven. Check it out. And they have the world's most famous, by the way, cinnamon rolls. I think I might have to stop and grab one, as long as the little store here, the one and only store, Hitchin Post here in Glenhaven, is still open. Let me see. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Why do you want to do me like that? Anyway, yeah, the Glenhaven General Store. Here's a shout out anyway, even though I can't grab the tasty, juicy, soft and squishy cinnamon roll today. It says it's closed, but yeah, see? Fresh baked cinnamon rolls. World's famous cinnamon rolls, by the way. It's good stuff. I forgot their names now, but the wife, the owner, this was the one building that didn't get washed away in the flood. It still got flooded, but it didn't get washed away. So that was cool. There was speculation at one time that they might have to tear it down, but nope. Thankfully it's still there in a little piece of this little town up here in the mountains. Yeah, the wife of the couple that owns it bakes those every day. This big, juicy, big, fat, just layered with thick, sweet, pure sugar frosting. You know, it's like cancer on a plate, but hey, it's something you don't buy every day. It's pretty amazing. You got to try it sometime if you're ever in the area. Glenhaven down here on the way to Estes Park up Highway 52, I believe it is. Anyway, so yeah, you have all this like vitriol, this pride that comes before the fall on the Twitter or the X. Everybody's just so excited and proud that they're gonna vote against the establishment, because that's exactly how controlled opposition works, folks. They make you believe that these two factions are actually warring, and that the side that you pick is the right side, right? When in reality, no, both sides are working together against your best interests. That's controlled opposition. I'm sorry for all the guys like Alex Jones that just seem to have completely forgotten of this concept. Alex Jones back in 2000 was calling out the left-right paradigm, but now he says it's the best house in the ghetto, however he describes it, the GOP. It's the nicest house in the block, man.
I'm sick of the libertarians. I'm sick of everybody on the fence. I'm sick of people bleeding votes away from Republicans when Republicans are the best house in a bad neighborhood and Trump is giving the New World Order a run for their money.
It's still the duopoly you're voting for, you know? And the duopoly doesn't care if you vote for the right hand or the left hand. It still wins and we lose, right? Because once Trump is back in office, which he will be, don't worry, Magus, it's okay. And like I said, he'll be fat and happier than ever. And he'll be alive and walking the earth for another 4 terms, because that's how much of a threat to the deep state that this guy is. No, he's a useful idiot, is what he is. Longtime Clinton ally, donated multiple times to the Clintons, 100,000 to the Clinton Foundation. He even voted Kamala Harris back-to-back twice when she campaigned. What are the odds, guys? It's a small world, isn't it? You have the sitting, or the soon-to-be sitting for a second term president, Donald Trump, who has donated to the current sitting vice president. And they're enemies, right? Right? Arch enemies. I don't know what to tell you, people. Anyway, in the meantime, everybody's freaking out on X because of this recent news. I don't know why it's recent, because it was actually a year ago that Elon Musk and X were doing the same thing, farming out data to these Israeli intelligence agencies, these Israeli intelligence companies. Back in 2023, they're already doing this. And of course, it was in the part of the war on, of course, anti-Semitism, right? Because there's so much anti-Semitism out there, aka criticism of the terrorist state of Israel, committing genocide daily. So yeah, everybody's freaking out, like the all these bobble-headed influencers on X, that want to make a living being a useless idiot who just keyboard warriors his whole life and pretends like he's in some kind of a epic battle for the future of America, when in reality they're just sitting on their ass, making a living being a blowhard. For all these people that want to be monetized on X, they have to sign a user agreement stating that X can farm their data over to an Israeli intelligence company. Why is it always Israeli? Isn't that kind of weird? Of course, now a year later, this latest news, the reason why it's a trending topic now is because, of course, everybody's all, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews in control of the world. I will admit that they have a lot of power, but they're not at the top of the pyramid, folks. Sorry to tell you. Check out this view, though, of Estes Park. Yeah, that's what you see coming up into the Estes Park Valley. Beautiful. Snow peaks. Great Divide. Never gets old, for sure. Even though I lived up here well over a decade, it never gets old. It's beautiful mountains. Rocky Mountain High, John Denver would call it. Yeah, so should you be surprised, guys? I mean, I put out this little, I guess it's kind of like an article / meme about how the change in the user agreement, and I think, again, this was like from a year ago, X, after Elon took over, is now going to start collecting biometric data on its users, part of the change in the user agreement, as well as turning AI technology into AI training on the behaviors of their own users. So you are the guinea pigs, guys. This little laboratory experiment, this little Operation Mockingbird social media platform called X. Meanwhile, we have Elon Musk, who's keeping everybody distracted, talking about whether or not we should turn X back into Twitter. Focus on the shiny object, guys. Look over here. That's literally all it takes for people to lose the attention span and to move on to the next trending topic. And that's how these social media platforms were designed to control your thought patterns, right? Control the narrative. And now Elon Musk also recently tweeted out, how excited he is that Trump is going to host a town hall on X. I almost called it Twitter. Because basically X is like the next, based on the Fox News model, right? It's the next Fox. It's no coincidence that Elon Musk was hanging out with Rupert Murdoch and his daughter at the Super Bowl. There's no coincidence that one of the Murdoch sons is part of the Tesla board. And there's no coincidence, by the way, with the Israeli connection that Ari Emanuel, Rahm Emanuel's brother, remember Rahm Emanuel, the guy that flicked Obama in the back of the head during cabinet meetings because Obama was his little bitch, I guess. And of course, that was bad optics, so they ended up making him, mob boss mayor of Chicago. Rahm Emanuel and Ari Emanuel. Ari Emanuel was also the agent, Hollywood agent, by the way, of Donald Trump. That's right, the reality TV show celebrity who became president of the political reality show. But Ari Emanuel, the Emanuel brothers are an interesting duo. And Ari Emanuel has been called the king of Hollywood, right? Fixer-upper, or the fixer, Hollywood agent. And he's also best buddies with Elon Musk, and they've been spotted together out on, a yacht, out, I don't know, one of these oceans near Greece or something like that, different exotic areas. Of course, it was Kanye who posted the image of Ari watering down Elon Musk. Again, like his little bitch. But Ari Emanuel was the one who brokered the deal for Elon Musk to purchase Twitter in the first place. And he also owns a unknown amount of share in Twitter, or X now. So, again, the connections. What is Elon really running, really? Just because you're the figurehead, the front man, right? The front man, doesn't mean you're actually running the show. Is Trump the equivalent? I mean, I don't think that's a question. Is Elon the equivalent of a, reality show sock puppet like Donald Trump? Pretending to run the country. Is Elon Musk just pretending to run X? Sure looks that way. Anyway, I gotta call it. It's looking a little stormy. Hopefully we'll get some more rain here. Things have really been getting dry. It's one reason why I'm hauling all this water with the new trailer today. Good news is I'll be able to double up what I used to be able to haul. The old axle, by the way, was bent out of shape, and the tires were pigeon-toed, and it already had one blown tire because they were like that. So this will help a lot. The old axle, I could literally put my fingers around. That's how skinny it was. So it was definitely not the right rating for the kind of weight that we're hauling with all this water. I think it's about 500 pounds is close to what this axle's rated for, 3,500 pounds, I believe. So I could probably stretch it, put about 600 pounds on here. Did I say that right? 500 gallons, of water is roughly 3,600 pounds, I believe. So that's what I'm doing today. How's everybody doing out there? I never asked. Just kind of scatterbrained lately. I got so much going on. Trying to get all these projects done while I still can. And civil war is trending. Law and Order Trump's going to come in with his as a felon, right? Clean up all the crime. And again, it's just what will we tolerate, And when we're blinded by the two-party political system, what will we tolerate? Like some commentators were saying, some of the accusations, these criminal charges against Trump in the past, just, maybe 20 years ago, would have disqualified somebody, right? They would have just stepped down, said, okay, never mind, somebody else can be president. But not Donald Trump. Nope. That's all we get, guys. We get a Biden, a Clinton, or a Trump out of 350 or some million American citizens. This is all the choice we got. A felon. Granted, could have been trumped up. Granted, could be trumped up charges, but nonetheless a felon. He should have been, by the way, held on a much more serious charges for crimes against humanity. In my, I believe, measured opinion. Anyway, God bless everybody. Yeah, it's just gonna be fun, isn't it? The next, 4 more years of Trump, it's just gonna be a blast. Both candidates were trying to scare, their prospective voters into voting for them out of, the most fear from the other candidate. Both saying that it's going to be the end of the country. It's going to be the end of the world. It's going to be World War III if you don't vote for me. Well, it's almost looking like it's going to be the end in any case, right? No matter who gets in office. No matter which crook seizes back power of the highest office of the land. It's not looking good, folks, but we got to be like, I just thought about this today, we got to be more like the early church. How much was the early church, the apostles of Jesus Christ, the disciples, how much were they involved in politics, really, if you think about it? Now, they were more concerned with Christ's kingdom, which Christ specified was not of this world, otherwise his followers would pick up arms and fight, right? So I think the more and more we lose control, I guess, over how our own government is ran, the more we got to rely on God, look to God, the King of Kings. We won't need a pope. We won't need a president if we have the King of Kings ruling over us, and we are faithful to his laws and his kingdom. And that's all that really matters, is the coming kingdom. America was a great experiment, and it was led in large part by, moral giants, Protestant Christians. But, I think we've fallen so far, and we've turned our back for so long against the true King of Kings that we really deserve what we're going to get. And that's what happened time and time again with Israel, with God's chosen people, not the state, but, in the Old Testament, Israel. Again and again, they would play the harlot, right? And they would walk away from God. They would serve other gods. They would do as the heathen. And God's judgments would eventually play out. So it really comes down to the individuals, where are we at with God? That's really what we need to continually ask ourselves. Are we right with God? Because there is a shit storm on the horizon, guys, and it's not looking good. So keep the faith, keep your eyes heavenward, waiting longingly for the second coming of the King of Kings. And just get your house in order, get prepared. God bless. Nightwatch N8, signing out.